The 2025 A3 sedan is Audi's smallest offering in North America. Yet, this compact four-door provides an engaging driving experience similar to that of the brand's larger sports sedans. For 2025, it has received a bunch of updates, so I'm going to review it and see how it performs. The A3 is Audi's bread and butter. It's a dependable all-round sedan, and it competes favorably with the likes of the Acura Integra, the Mercedes CLA, the BMW 2 Series, and of course the Cadillac CT4. And for me, I'm just happy that they're still building a sedan. So what's new for 2025? Well, the revamp begins with a refresh of the front end. The grille has been designed to be wider and taller, and the chrome frame has been eliminated. And then the fake side vents have been enlarged, and then the headlights are pretty cool. The daytime running lights have been moved from the bottom previously to the top. And those changes are made to give the car a more expansive look and a lower appearance. And I think for the most part it works, but I do think that this nose does stick out a little bit too much in front of the front wheels. And at the back you get a brand new bumper, which looks pretty cool with this pattern right here, and then this diffuser, which Audi says is very distinctive. I'm not really seeing that. So at the back you get a decent amount of space here. In the trunk, approximately 10.9 cubic feet here, which I would think is enough for a run to Costco or a weekend away. Under here, you do get a space saver spare wheel. So the 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine is now assisted by a 48-volt hybrid system, and they've added a dual clutch automatic transmission available for 2025. Horsepower stays the same, 201 horsepower, but with that hybrid system, the torque has gone from 221 foot-pounds to 236 foot-pounds. All four wheels are now driven. There's no front-wheel drive option anymore on any trim. 0 to 60 takes around 6.2 seconds, and with a light right foot, you'll get around 34 miles to the gallon on the highway. Oh, and if you want more power, get the S3. So the A3 is only offered in two trims. You've got the Premium and then this Premium Plus. No Prestige on this car. Base prices start at $38,200 or 12 ounces of gold at today's prices. Now, this one's got the extra package on it, the Premium Plus package. Costs you $2,600, and that includes a Sonos sound system, LED interior lighting, driver's seat memory, an auto-dimming interior mirror, and adaptive cruise with lane guidance. This one also has the black optic package for $1,750, which includes these wheels, which are these 18-inch 5-spoke alloy wheels wearing these Pirelli P0 all-season tires. They're 225/40s all around. You also get lots of black trim here, including the black Audi rings, and then everything is blacked out around the windows as well, and then around and underneath the mirrors. And you also get sports suspension. And then finally, the tech package for $1,660 gets you the Audi Virtual Cockpit Plus, Audi MMI Navigation Plus, and traffic sign recognition. Add it all up, you get $46,040. So because it's a subcompact, it's definitely going to be quite tight in the back end, and it is sort of okay legroom. This seat's in the same position as my driving position over there. Seat's pretty comfortable. These seats are leather. You get a little cup holder. You also get a couple of USBs, and you can control your climate control right here, and you get a couple of vents. It's sculpted out here for your head, so mine just about fits, but anybody much taller than me is going to be quite cramped. So both the styling and the quality has been improved inside. Some criticisms of the old model were some cheaper feeling plastics. These vents right here are chrome. The airbag in the middle of the steering wheel has actually been made a little bit smaller. It's very compact. They've also made the shifter smaller. which I don't care about because I like a big chunky shifter anyway, but whatever, they've made it smaller. They've created more space, but they haven't put any more buttons around here. But we'll get into that later on. Seats are pretty comfortable. The driver has seat memory, as I mentioned before, lumbar support, and both of them are electrically operated, so that is a good thing. So standard on all trims is this 10.1-inch touchscreen. Ahead of the driver, this one has the 12.5-inch Audi Virtual Cockpit Plus in that tech package I mentioned. You get 4 USB ports and wireless Apple CarPlay, as you can see, and Android Auto. You also get down here a wireless phone charger. It's a pretty cool interface. It makes a really cool clicking noise when you click into the buttons here. Go into vehicle, seats, drive select, air conditioning, light and visibility park aids, settings and service driver assistance. You can do the drive select from here, or there's a button right here. So you got comfort, auto, dynamic, individual. You can change the individual settings, but only a couple of them. Drive I have in sport, and steering I have in balanced. I just prefer it that way. So Audi's been sensible here and not gone the route of the VW, where you just have to access everything from the screen. We got physical buttons here across the board. Heated seats at the front only, and then all your controls. Below that, you've got your drive select, you've got traction control off, and various different parking functions. Several pieces that I don't like here. Number 1 is piano black. Number 2 is this silly shifter. And number 3 is this weird, it's not a volume, twisty volume control. It's more of a click, 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 change track up and down for the volume. You'll see here I got it set for this sort of bluish, I'm colorblind, so it's blue, purple, I don't know what. Cup holders right here. There's your parking brake, and then the old-fashioned 12 volt right there. A little bit of space here with a rubberized mat for stuff, change, etc. And then in the center console, you get a little bit of space, together with the crank, typical Audi armrest. Some of the fittings are really nice. You get this sort of like fake wood here, and as I said, all A3s are Quattro all-wheel drive, so you get the little Quattro badge right here as well. This one comes with a sunroof, but irritatingly, Audi continues to try and save money on the mesh screen, which, as you can see the trees through that. It's not a particularly sunny day, but if it was sunny, it just doesn't work. All right, so head of the driver, you got that advanced digital cockpit. You can change the views, fuel level, speedo, oil temp, how many miles we've done, the temperature outside, 48. That's kind of chilly for April in Southern California. I don't know what's going on. And on the left, you have a tachometer. You can change your view back. I have it set here, date and time, because sometimes I forget what day it is. And then on the left-hand side, you got fuel level. You can scroll down, 21.1. Not too bad. Short-term memory, long-term memory. It's around 21, but I'm hammering this thing. Driver assistance, speed limit. That's a lie, because there's no speed limit on this road. I'm on a off-road track. And then scroll back to consumption and level. And you can scroll through here. You can put your maps on there. You can do a call list from your phone, or you can check your tracks on your iPhone. And then on the steering wheel, you do get a volume control here, a little scroll wheel, which kind of makes up for the fact that there isn't a physical volume button. Okay, now we're gonna unleash the 201 horsepower, revamped with extra torque Audi A3 on the back roads of San Diego County. All right, off we go. Okay, once we get off this little section right here, I'll put it in dynamic, or individual actually. I prefer the steering just a little bit lighter. I mean, even in the heaviest mode, even in the sport mode, the steering feels quite light. So in S, there's D and S. S is the sporty mode. It holds the revs really high and gets a little bit annoying. I actually prefer D, and then it changes up. Otherwise, it just revs its balls off Unfortunately, I can't split out there's a drive mode and there's a steering mode, but there's no suspension mode. I'd like to make the suspension softer, but I can't. I am impressed that it comes with these Pirelli P0s. They are all seasons, but they're not a bad tire. The steering's pretty direct. Changes direction. Feels quite nice. There's no real play in the steering. A little artificial though. I mean, there's never any feel in steering these days. Okay, we'll pass this guy. Definitely plenty of power to get past people. Quite quick to get up to possible license-losing speeds. Right, we'll get onto some twistier roads in a second and see how this thing goes. One thing about German cars is they're really good once they get up to speed. Higher speeds they love. They track well. They're really not affected by wind. Once you get into these sort of twisty roads where you need that torque, it's a much better drive. And now that they're all quattro all-wheel drives, this thing grips really well. We can test out these P0s and see if they make any complaints. But so far, they haven't. Audi's got this thing sorted. It turns really well. Now brakes, on the other hand, I heard some weird noises from this. This thing's only done like 1,900 miles. But I stomped on the brakes. They're working now. I thought they heard that they made a funky noise earlier. Yeah, happy with the brakes. Pretty happy with the steering. I could always use more power, but anyway, we'll get to drive the 2025 S3 in a few weeks and compare. But God, for what it is, this little 2.0 with 201 horsepower does a pretty good job of putting a smile on your face. That's really all I want. An enjoyable drive. All right, zipping past somebody else that's spoiling our fun. It's very, very well controlled at high speeds. A little dab of the brakes here. Sweeping left-hander. And for kind of a non-sporty car, this does a good job. It's hanging on. Yeah, Audi's done a good job with the suspension. Now, it is the sports suspension technically. I don't know what the car that doesn't have sports suspension drives like. I'm going to hope that after I've spent my money, this is definitely sharper than the one that doesn't have it. Now, the engine does make quite a bit of noise, but you know, it is a strung out turbo 4. This road's smooth, but it's got a lot of undulations on it, and chassis is certainly doing a pretty good job. Changes direction well, and you've got that additional security of having all-wheel drive. So there's no understeer. Audi's used to suffer from a lot of understeer. This one seems much better. We are really getting a move on along here. Right, sharp left-hander here. God, it hangs on really well. So, against the competition, this is probably the best all-round package. Certainly wouldn't choose a Mercedes CLA or an Integra. The BMW is probably, it's got more power, 228 I want to say, and maybe 258 foot-pounds of torque. A little more power, going to be the more engaging car from a driver's perspective. But I think this little car is probably going to be the best all-rounder. So what do we think? Well, let's face it, most people will be seduced by an Audi badge and these four rings. But fundamentally, this is an extremely well thought out and well-rounded premium or luxury subcompact little car. And it's not a crossover. Anyway, once again, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Like, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time with another video.